Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a good week. Today's video has been a long awaited one. I feel like I've been talking about making a video like this for a long time. And I feel like now that it's been such a long time since I did go through heartbreak, I've fully gotten through it, I've fully experienced it, I know what helped me, and I'm also really passionate about helping others because I feel like I can truly empathize in this situation, and I'm really passionate about trying to help people as much as I can because I know when I was going through my breakup, a video like this would have been a saving grace for me. So I asked you on Instagram if you had any questions. I was actually originally going to film a fitness Q&A, and then I thought, I kind of want to do a heartbreak one because I did a mini questions and answers on my Instagram and I got a lot of questions about it, and when I was answering them I just felt really passionate about it and I really wanted to expand more on it. So I asked you on Instagram if you had any questions and I got so many, so thank you for sending in all of your questions, and I hope that in this video I can help somehow and answer your question and try and ease what you're going through if you are going through heartbreak. So yeah, with all that being said, let's just get straight on into it. I hope I answer everything okay. I'm like kind of nervous right now. Okay, the first question someone asked was, did you have any regrets during your breakup and what not to do? I wouldn't say I have any regrets because everything that happened brought me to where I am today, and it was all a learning curve and it's just helped me grow. So yeah, definitely no regrets. But what I would say what not to do, and it's the biggest thing and it's something everyone told me and I didn't want to listen, and I know you probably don't want to listen either because it's the hardest thing when you've been with someone for a certain amount of time. Cutting them off, which is what I'm going to recommend, is something that is so beneficial and helpful. I know it's hard. I know you want to check on each other because you care about each other, but you're not in a relationship anymore and you may never get back together. You don't want false hope. You don't want to keep wondering if you are going to get back together and hoping that you do, because you're just stunting your own healing process. And even if it's temporary, you need to cut off contact, you need to heal on your own, you need to learn to be happy on your own, and then maybe in the future if you really want to, you guys can get back in contact and be friends. I know some people can be friends with their exes, but a lot of the time you're not going to end up being friends, and you are going to heal. The least contact you have with them, the faster that process is going to be. It's hard at first, but I promise it's one of the healthiest things you can do for yourself, and right now you need to be looking out for yourself. So no stalking on social media, no asking mutual friends about them. There is no point. It is not going to help. It is not going to make you feel better. What else? You don't want to wallow in self-pity. It's okay to be sad, obviously, but you still got to get up and look after yourself. You have to take care of yourself, and doing that will make you feel better. As hard as it is at the time, doing things for yourself that are going to benefit you and your growth and your life are going to make you feel better. I think another thing a lot of people do, including me, was blaming yourself, going over situations in your head, wondering what you did wrong, when really you didn't do anything wrong. The relationship didn't work out, and that's that. They're not your person. That's it. It's nothing to do with you. You're perfect the way you are. And I mean, it's different for every situation, obviously, but everything happens for a reason, and you can't keep staying in the past and wondering what could have been different, because nothing can change that. Now you just have to focus on moving on with your life and learning from it. So hopefully that helps. The next question is, what is a piece of advice that you would like to give to yourself 5 years ago? And that would make me 21, a little baby, still didn't know, still didn't believe in myself. So my biggest piece of advice that I would love to give to myself is to trust myself. It's such a simple answer, but I feel like just trusting yourself is so important, and loving yourself and knowing that you are resilient and you can get through anything and you are strong, and trusting your ability to make the best of every outcome and that you will get through it. So just trusting myself, I think, is what I would just go back and say. Is that a boring answer? I don't know. I just feel like that's what I would like to hear, is to just trust myself, because everything works out in the end. Why are there like 100 trucks going past my house today? The next question isn't really heartbreak related, but I thought I'd answer it anyway. Is it okay to date your friend's brother? And I think yes, depending on how your friend feels about it. If that upsets your friend, I don't know. I can't think if I had a friend of age that wanted to date my brother and I loved my friend and thought they were amazing, then why wouldn't I want them to date him, you know? So if your friend loves you, then they would love for you to be with their brother, which might be kind of weird and maybe a little bit awkward, but I don't know, love's love. Is that, I don't know, is that bad to say? I think it totally depends on what your friend thinks, but as long as you treat their brother correctly, which I'm assuming you will, then I think that should be fine. I'm not sure if you've spoken to your friend about this yet, but if there were any concerns, the only thing I could imagine is maybe if you and their brother got into a fight or broke up and it got messy, then it would affect your friendship with your friend. So having a conversation about that and ensuring that no matter what happens, that you guys will still stay friends. And I think if any problems do arise in the relationship, maybe keeping that separate and not talking to your friend about it, because it's their brother after all, so you don't want to be talking down on their brother, and you don't want your friend to be in an awkward position, so you might just have to go to your other friends for stuff like that. Can you guys hear that? I swear there's like a truck meetup out my house. What the? Okay, the truck meetup is over for now. We'll see how long that lasts. The next question is, would you ever move interstate for someone? And I think this is obviously circumstantial. If I had never met the person and I'd only been talking to them online, then definitely not. But if I was in a relationship with someone and I love them and for some reason they had to move interstate, maybe for work or a family member was sick, or there's many reasons someone might have to, then I'd definitely consider it. Why not? It's only interstate. Yeah, I would. The next question is how to deal with guys that come to you with the wrong intention. I think firstly, the fact that you are aware that they have the wrong intention is great. So you're not being naive. And a way to deal with them is to not deal with them. Don't think that you can try and change them. Don't think that you can change their mind. Don't waste your time. Love yourself enough and respect yourself enough to know that you deserve better and move on. Cut them off. They're not worth it. They're literally not worth it. And you could find someone out there who has the right intention with you and is on the same page as you, and there's no point wasting your time with someone that isn't on the same page as you, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just think cut them off. On to the next. Thank you, next. Bye. The next question is, how do you get over a 4-month thing with no closure? They literally just ghosted me. Ugh, that's awful, and I'm so sorry you're going through that. I couldn't imagine how upsetting and confusing that would be. But I think the biggest thing, and this is something I have learnt, is that you don't always need closure. And even if you did manage to get an answer or a reason out of this person, it's not going to magically make you feel better. It is not going to help the situation. It's not going to heal your broken heart. So I think dwelling on trying to get closure is just halting your healing process. And I think someone ghosting you is an answer within itself. It shows you that they are not worthy, that they do not respect you enough to have a conversation with you, and that shows that you deserve better than that. And you do. Theo's about to bark at the postman. No. Oh my god. So basically, in short, this person who ghosted you took themselves and threw themselves in the bin. They did the hard work for you. Now you know who they are. Now you know they're not worthy, and now you can focus on yourself and move on and find someone who is worthy and who is able to have a conversation with you. So hopefully that helps. I also just realized I had fake tan in between my hands, so that's cute. We'll ignore that. You good? The next question is how to stop feeling like you need male attention to be happy. I think it's perfectly natural and literally in our genetics to want attention from the opposite sex, and it's perfectly okay, but it shouldn't be the only thing that's bringing you happiness. And I think if it is the only thing that's bringing you happiness and making you feel validated, then you need to work on your self-love. And I think for that, there's lots of things you can do. Obviously working on yourself, doing things that make you happy, spending time with friends. But a major thing that I would recommend is going to see a therapist. Go and see someone that is professional and can actually give you the tools and teach you to love yourself. I know it's so hard, it's such a long road, and so many of us are working on it. I'm still working on it, but if you love yourself, then you don't need validation from others, because you've got your own back and you love yourself and you love who you are, and it doesn't matter if people like you or not, you like you. So that's all that matters. So I would definitely recommend going to speaking to someone about self-love and working on yourself. More trucks going past. Oh my god, what an ordeal this has been. The next question is, how do you deal with your boyfriend working away a lot? And I know exactly how you feel about that. I've been there. It is so hard missing someone and you can't be with them and you're constantly counting down the days, but you have to try and think of this as an advantage, which it is, because when your boyfriend is away, you have no distractions. You can focus on yourself, you can focus on your work, you can focus on your friendships, on your family, and you can make the most of this time and work on yourself and better yourself and learn to love your own company as well, whilst also having a partner that you love and that you miss. You're kind of growing as well as missing someone. So I think thinking of it as a good thing really helps. And obviously absence makes the heart grow fonder. Having someone who's away all the time keeps it fun, keeps it fresh. You get to look forward to seeing them all the time, and it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I think trying to think of it as a positive rather than a negative, and don't wallow in self-pity. Just try and get on with your life. Look forward to them coming home, but also enjoy this time on your own and try and make the most of it. The next question is, how do you deal with nasty in-laws? And I've been fortunate enough to never have to really go through this. I've always had good relationships, and I've loved the parents of the people that I've been with. But if I was in this situation, I think what I would do, instead of going to your partner, because no one really wants to see their parents in a bad light, and I don't think it's nice to talk badly about someone's parents, because that's who brought them up, that's their parents. And I think what I would do is go to the in-laws and I would have a conversation with them, which I know would be so hard, but I think only good can come from it. Even if it gives you an answer, if they are still awful to you, then whatever, you're just gonna have to deal with it. If you love the person, then you're just going to have to deal with it. But if you do have a good conversation with them, one, they can see that you care, and two, they're going to respect that you have had the guts to talk to them about it. I think a lot of the times parents can be quite possessive over their children, and I think it comes from jealousy, because you've come along and their child is, their literal baby that they've raised forever, is obsessed with you and giving you all their time, and they're not getting as much time anymore. So I think it can come from a little bit of jealousy. So I think going to the parents and showing that you care and you want them to like you, and hopefully you can come to some sort of solution. But yeah, I would just communicate with the parents, to be honest. I think nothing bad can come from being open and having an open conversation. So hopefully you guys can work it out. The next question is really simple, but I feel like this is something that is so hard for people, and it is, how do you leave? So I'm assuming you want to break up with someone, and honestly I feel like sometimes leaving someone is harder than being broken up with, because you feel like you're responsible for making someone upset and breaking someone's heart, but you have to look out for yourself. And if you're not happy in a relationship, then you are not only doing yourself a favor by leaving, but you're doing them a favor by not wasting their time. And also, you're, as much as you feel like you are because you care about the person, you're not responsible for their feelings, and you also have to kind of get yourself off this pedestal as well, because you thinking you're going to leave and, oh my god, how are they going to go on without me? Like, they're gonna move on. They will be okay. Just like you've probably gone through a relationship, like a breakup before, and gotten together with someone else and ended up okay. They will be as well. You're not the be all and end all for them, and if you're not loving them the way that you should, then they deserve better anyway. So I think take yourself off the pedestal. Know that they will be okay without you, because they will. Trying not to take responsibility for their emotions, and also thinking of it as you're doing them a favor by leaving, because you're not wasting their time anymore, and they're eventually going to get to meet someone that wants to be with them. So hopefully that helps. Next, someone asked, how soon is too soon to start dating again? My last relationship is 1.5 years. She didn't say how long they've been broken up for, but I think as long as you feel like you were ready, then when you're ready. That didn't make sense. I feel like as long as you've done the work on yourself and you're not getting into a new relationship for the wrong reasons, like because you're lonely, then whenever that may be is totally fine. Whether it takes a few months or a few years, as long as you have put in the work on yourself and you feel like you're not getting into a relationship for the wrong reasons, then whenever that may be, it's totally fine. And the last question I'm going to answer today is how to heal and not take oh my god, why can't I say that word? Toxicity into your next relationship. Firstly, like I've said a bunch in this video, obviously you want to do all the work on yourself before jumping into a new relationship. Going to see a therapist, working through those things. Coming out of a toxic relationship is super damaging, and I know it really affects you and your ability to trust others. But what you have to remember is a new person is not your ex, and you should never put your old thought patterns onto them and you should always trust a new person until they prove you wrong. You can't go to them and say, oh, well, my ex did this, I'm sorry that I'm treating you like this, I've just got these trust issues for my ex. They're not your ex, they're a new person, and it's not fair of you to put those thoughts and, you know, negative assumptions onto them when they haven't done anything wrong by you, and hopefully never will. My number one piece of advice for this is definitely going to see a therapist and working through these things. You're going to be helping yourself so much by doing that, and also being a better person for your partner is super important as well. You don't want to put those old toxic traits and negative behaviors onto a new person who hasn't hurt you. It's completely unfair. So you definitely need to work on those things within yourself. But that is everything I'm going to answer today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. I'm sure I'm going to watch this back and be wanting to expand on other things and wishing I said something else or added to certain things, but hopefully I answered everything okay. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos from me. I was about to say questions, videos. And if you are going through heartbreak right now, I'm sending you all my love. I know it's so hard, but I promise, you will be okay. You will get through this. Think of this time as a blessing. Being single is a blessing. You get to focus on you. You get to have fun with your friends. You're going to look back on this right now and be so happy that you got through this. You're going to grow. You're going to learn things about you. It is a good thing. I promise. And with that, I'm going to leave it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!